All right, this is your brother Issachar coming at you with another lesson. First off, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaa Kodash. Double honor to the apostles of the great millstones I learned this truth from. Honors to the elders and brothers out there pushing this word through the four corners of the earth within truth and sincerity. And shalom to the aqua that's listening and learning. Today's video is going to be entitled, "We Are Still Living in Enemy Territory, Sundown Cities." All right, we are still living in enemy territory, sundown cities. Okay, now I got inspired to do this lesson. Well, before I begin, I want to let you all know that I'm putting another video within this video because this is where I got inspired to do the lesson in the first place. And I'm gonna put the brother's channel in the description box. It's from GMS Get This Work. All right. And pretty much, I just wanted to speak on this just for a few minutes because I woke up this morning. Of course, it's, today is the Sabbath, and while I was driving to work, I was listening to the video, and pretty much within the video, it's explaining how there are certain cities in America that black people cannot enter into. Once it reaches sundown in certain cities, if a so-called black person is caught in that city, the whole city will find that black person and do whatever it is they want to him or her, because that city is dominantly white. Okay, Esau. And this goes for male and female as far as Esau is concerned too. All right, these are cities where they openly show you the hatred they have for you. They said as soon as you go into certain cities, you see all the Confederate flags everywhere. You see black dolls hanging from trees, okay? And as soon as they say they see a so-called black person in the city, all right, throughout the day, they give them a warning. They don't give them a direct warning, but they give you subliminal messages to let you know you better get the hell up out of the city or something bad gonna happen to you. So it's around 5 something in the morning. I'm listening to this, and I'm like, damn, I gotta see the visuals for this video. So Lord willing, I'm gonna watch it again so I can actually see it, because I was just listening to it in the car. And pretty much for everything that I've heard in the video, it instantly pissed me off. Instantly pissed me off, because the hatred that these Edomites have for us is ridiculous, man. And this is why we're going to give them the same hatred right back in the kingdom. This is why we can't wait for our Lord to return, man. Vengeance belongs to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. We can't wait for Yahweh Shai to come back with the angels. We getting tired of you crackers, man. Getting tired of y'all, man. And then it pissed me off even more, because then I'm thinking about the full circle. I'm thinking about Jake over here, who just got done celebrating Juneteenth, talking about they free. When you can't even travel in a lot of these cities, man. You go into certain cities, your ass can end up missing forever. You talking about your ass free. Then Jake's simple ass getting ready to celebrate July 4th next week, man. So I'm over here just driving to work, then I park, and the video finally ends, and I'm just like, damn, man, I gotta make sure I keep my peace when I go to work. Cause I just wanna just say something, you know? But I know this is not the place nor the time to do that shit. I know I just need to go to work, make my money, go home, man. Then of course, you know, it's certain Edomites that I work with, I can feel the hatred coming from them, you know? Because just like the scriptures say, just like the scripture I brought out yesterday, you know, Satan can disguise himself as an angel, man. And that's exactly what Esau does. He is the greatest actor of all time. Esau hates us. We hate your ass right back, man. We don't give a fuck about crackers at all. We can't wait to get our hands on you, man. That's why it says in Genesis, the 49th chapter, what Judah gonna do? His hands is gonna be in the neck of his enemies, man. Happy to see finally the downfall of our enemies. We want to see that, man. When it's Jacob's trouble, man, I hope, we all hope that we stand next to the most racist ass Edomite ever. And then we actually get to see the downfall of that motherfucker, man. We waiting for that. Yeah, we waiting for that wine press, man. You already know what I'm talking about when I say the wine press. We waiting for those days, and they coming. And Esau knows it. He knows it. That's why he getting ready to bring that great wrath, because he feel like he gonna have a chance. Yeah, he feel like he gonna have a chance against us. Why? Because we don't have no power. But guess who's coming back? And you can't do nothing against him, man. The Lord. So like I said, when I'm over here listening to the video, like I said, they openly just showing you how much they hate you. You can't even go into a city after sundown. You got a curfew? Like you a little ass kid or something. When the sun go down, you better not be around. What the fuck? And you already know how Esau get down. He'll kidnap grown men and he'll rape the grown men, man. Because when you hear the word torture, of course you think about pain. But hey, that's torture too. Esau will do that. Because that's in his nature. That's who he is. So you already know the people that come up missing, they went through complete hell, man. And now we got to deal with that bullshit. This is why we can't wait, man. That day can't come soon enough. All right? And it's coming. We see the prophecies. We see the signs that the Lord has given us, man. Matthew the 24th chapter. We see it. But like I said, I had to calm myself down and the water Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, call Halayim Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, because while I was going through these these different emotions at work, you know, the Most High had certain things happen and, you know, to calm me down. And I appreciate that, because I definitely was getting close to the point where, you know, I just wanted to speak my mind on shit, but it didn't happen, and I'm glad it didn't. But you all are gonna see what I'm talking about. I'm gonna stop speaking. I just wanted to speak on that, give my little spiritual rant real quick. All right, like I said, when you all see the video, you all are gonna be pissed off too. And that's all I'm gonna say, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Look at the video, and Lord willing, I'm gonna be back tomorrow with another lesson. So I hope it's edifying. So with that, I'm gonna say, call Halayim Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Rachaa. Double honor to the apostles of the great millstone who taught me this truth. Honor to the brothers and elders out there pushing his word through the four corners of the earth within truth and sincerity. And shalom to the Aquat that's listening and learning. And Yahweh Ratazat, I'll be back with another lesson. Keep pushing, Yasrala. Keep pushing. We almost out of here. Shalom. Check out the video.
Hold on, B. We gonna get this work.
You can't be out here at night. It's a sundown town.
What's that? People who don't know, what is the sundown town?
Sundown Town is an area that hosts a law no blacks after sundown. And they did that for a reason.
What is the reason?
Yeah, I thought you were familiar with the hood. Blacks be carrying on more after sundown. They'd be robbing and looting. Matter of fact, look up Walmart being diversified by blacks. You'll find plenty of monkey shines.
Oh my God.
Do I look like I'm a part of the modern world?
In the history of America, there were towns in the United States called sundown towns. Now, those of you who are not from America that could be watching this video, a sundown town is basically a town full of racist white supremacists, male and female. And if you're a black person in that town at nightfall, then they will attack and take your life. You understand what I'm saying? So even in 2023, you still have sundown towns in America, but yet America will go to a lot of your countries and try to tell you about democracy and human rights, but yet they have sundown towns in America. Case in point, you have a brother that's going to detail some things that he experienced going in certain sundown towns. Let's roll that.
We don't have Volvos here. We don't park Volvos here.
So in the video, you can see the lady talking about basically telling him, you're in a sundown town. You need to get the hell out of here right now. This has happened to me on multiple occasions. The verbiage is never going to be specific. You just got to listen to what white supremacists are saying. One time I'm in the 70-76 interchange, small town in Pennsylvania. Hella trucks go through it every day, all day. I pull over to the side of this dirt road, ask this non-threatening white man who's walking, hey, which way do I go? And he looked so like a regular cool white person. But the way he talked to me, the verbiage that he used, let me know I was not welcome. He was just like, do you know where you at? You know, it's not too many of y'all that look like you that's over here. And just different little stuff. And he got more, not violent, but the more aggressive in his verbiage with every freaking word. He was trying to let me know, because he was like, oh, this ninja can't take hints. And I couldn't. He was telling me, get your black out of here. So y'all need to learn how to pay attention when white people are talking.
This motherfucker jumps on my car. Gets right in front of my car. Get off! Move! What are you doing? Get off my car! He's still on my car. Get the fuck off my car.
Yo, let me tell y'all as quickly as I can about my night in a sundown town. Excuse me. Yes, I said that correctly. A sundown town. 2022, a sundown town. For those who don't know what a sundown town is, look it up on Google. But anyway, so I get a load going to a particular city in Texas, and I'm like, okay, well, let me head on over here and drop this off. They're gonna pay me this much. That's perfect. I like that. It's a quick 200 miles, make it quick. You know, whatever the amount was, great, cool. I get there and I look at the exit. I'm like, wait a minute. It took me to exit 861A. For those who don't know, it's a place called Vidor, Texas, V-I-D-O-R, V-I-D-O-R. I'm like, uh-oh. I've heard stories. Like pretty much everybody I know in Texas that's black tells me, do not go to Vidor, Texas. I'm like, okay. Yet here I was in Vidor, Texas. My load didn't deliver until this morning. This is from the perspective of yesterday. Didn't deliver until tomorrow at 8. It was like 5:30. So I get to the place. I'm not giving names of companies or anything like that. But while I'm driving to the place, I see trailer parks. I see a bunch of Confederate flags. I saw a doll of a black man. It was just a doll wrapped in a Confederate flag hanging from a tree by its neck. That's the type of stuff I saw in Vidor, Texas, which led me to believe that the reputation was fairly earned. I get there. The security guard says, oh, hey, we got a code red. The guy gets on the phone, was like, hey, I can't, I don't want to be responsible for this guy's safety. Let me go ahead and find somebody because we stopped taking loads at 4 o'clock. But I'll get somebody over here from the other side of the plant. Tell them to hang on. So I hang on. I'm doing what I got to do. Finally, somebody comes by about 15 minutes later. The guy said, let me hurry up and get you unloaded. He quickly gets me unloaded. And they say, dude, you might want to get up out of here as soon as possible. We're at sundown. You want to leave here now. Don't stop until you at least get to Beaumont. I was like, okay. He's like, no, seriously, I said, well, what about the police? Why aren't the police there? Police turn a blind eye. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do what you said. He said, yeah, man, I don't want to see you get in any trouble. So I went ahead and I took off, headed to Beaumont. I went to the Petro in Beaumont, slept there, and I had my Armalite rifle 15 with me. Slept with a couple of extra magazines, but I'm safe, y'all. But that was my night in the sundown.
As a born and raised Texan, Black people please do not stop in Vidor, TX. It's one of the many sundown towns in Texas. Keep pushing and do not stop.
Look like you just over here.
In this society, in America, and the beautiful thing about the internet is that it's exposing everything in real time. And people all over the world can see this. And it's a beautiful thing. Sundown towns should not be in existence. But let me tell you really how black people got caught up in those sundown towns. So these brothers you talking about are truck drivers, or maybe a person get lost somewhere. People have went to gas stations and they try to warn you and let you know, say, hey, you know where you at? They say, it's not a good place for you to be. You probably want to leave. So they'll try to warn you to get out of town. But if you are caught, this is normally how they get you. The white supremacists are the police too. They the police chief, they all the police. So what they'll do is the police will pull you over. For nothing, literally. They pull you over and then they'll call their white supremacist friends. And then the police will take you somewhere and then they let their white supremacist friends and they're going to get involved with it too. And then they're going to, torture you and they're going to unalive you. That's what they're going to do. And they're going to get rid of the evidence in the car because they're the police. That's what they do in these sundown towns. They're letting you know. There's not no random Klan to show up with no, it's the police. That's who is the Klan, right?
Any of you all know what a sundown town is?
Yes, sir, we do.
Well, this is a sundown county. If I had found you pissing in my woods like animals after dark, it would have been my sworn duty to hang every single one of you from them trees.
It's not sundown yet?
Sunset is at 7:09 today. That's 7 minutes from now.
Then we'll be out of the county in 6.
Now that's impossible heading south on the road you're currently on, unless you were to speed. And if you were to speed, I'd have to pull you over.
Then we'll head north.
That might work. Why don't you give it a try?
We will, sir.
This is Prophet Gayu, and I will speak on sundown towns to include the current sundown towns and why they still exist.
We've been sharing inspiring stories of Black Coloradans and their contributions to our state. And this week, we're revealing a darker side of our Colorado history. 10/7's Micah Smith is telling the story of sundown towns where Coloradans of color were prevented from living.
The beauty of a sunset is captivating, but for decades in our country, the sun setting was an ominous reminder that Black people were entering the most dangerous time of day.
We don't necessarily have a complete record of all the sundown towns in Colorado. There are a few that posted banners or posted signs to make sure that people knew.
A sundown town was an all-white city that banned Black people from living within city limits or being in town after dark. Black American West Museum volunteer Terry Gentry says they were especially prevalent during the late 1800s and throughout the 1900s.
There were a lot of risks. You could either be harmed, you could be forced out of town, you could be killed. Just quite a few scary things happened.
But sundown towns were not a southern invention. Most can be found across the north, the Midwest, and the West, with many right here in Colorado.
Louisville and Golden, parts of Colorado Springs,
Cherry Hills, and Loveland. A Loveland Reporter Herald article reveals in the early 1900s, Loveland neighborhoods and HOAs prevented anyone of color from buying a house there. At that time, Loveland had a large sign that read, "Welcome to Loveland, nationally famous sweetheart town." And a smaller sign underneath read, "We observe Jim Crow laws here."
We have a situation here where our culture, as expressed in Hollywood and to some extent in other media, puts this racism in the South where it isn't. This is the one form of severe racism that the traditional South did not do, but it's all across the North.
Sociologist and author of Sundown Towns, James Lowen, has studied sundown towns across the United States and uncovered thousands.
In suburbs, there are a lot of suburbs that were sundown towns. In fact, most suburbs, about 70–80% of the suburbs of Los Angeles, the suburbs of Chicago, suburbs of Detroit.
And Lowen says that's why we still have Colorado cities that have virtually no residents of color.
But I have to say that most towns, and I suspect almost all former sundown towns in Colorado, have given up the practice.
But Lowen said we still feel the implications today.
What we have to watch for now is what we call second-generation sundown town issues. And that's, for example, an overwhelmingly white police force, overwhelmingly white teaching staff that doesn't have much of an interracial curriculum to teach either.
Lowen says there's hope for sundown towns, but communities must step into the light and acknowledge their dark histories. Micah Smith, Denver 7.
America can't tell no country about human rights, because I always tell any person in any country, if they try to come wagging their finger at you about human rights on any level, their Achilles heel is Black America. You tell them, well, you talking about human rights, you got sundown towns in America in 2023 where Black people, they caught in that town, they're going to unalive them in 2023. What are you talking about? Look at what your police do to Black people. That is their Achilles heel. You can also tell them, look at what they dealt with slavery, and you still haven't even made that right. You didn't even pay reparations to Black Americans. How you gonna come over here telling us about any kind of human rights and democracy? You have no human rights and democracy in your country. So go do human rights and show us how it's done first. Then you come over here and tell us, and then we will listen to you.
I'm not going to help nobody get something my Negroes don't have. If I'm going to die, I'll die now, right here fighting you. You my enemy. My enemy is the white people, not Vietnam.